Welcome back to Ancestral Adventures. I'm Sean.
I'm Lauren, and this little cutie is Aiden.
So last episode, we left off exploring the airplane graveyard and Saguaro National Park around Tucson, but more importantly, celebrating this guy's first birthday. So if you missed that episode, make sure to go back and check it out. But as I started to review the footage for our next episode, we head to Yuma. I guess the theme I kept coming back to was community. So in this week's episode, we're talking all about community and finding community on the road.
Yeah, last year we traveled pretty much solo, and while we got to see a lot of really cool places, we knew going into this year that finding community was going to be really important. We had some pretty solidified travel plans going into the Escapers Annual Bash. But we met some really cool people, that we wanted to spend more time with. So while Yuma wasn't on the list of places that we wanted to go, off to Yuma we went.
You've made it.
You made it! Yay! Welcome!
Friends! Yay!
Hi, Sagan!
You guys made it! Hi,
We
Aiden.
did.
Uh-oh. It's like the sink. You can splish splash. Yeah.
Oh, splish splash.
Splish splash.
There's Mommy.
So the reality of filming with two babies is that it's all gonna go really smoothly and perfectly. We're gonna have these gorgeous shots.
The dream. That's
The dream.
The dream is to have this wonderful little morning mimosa picnic. But we're filming with two babies hanging on us, and the champagne bottle doesn't open. No, at least we have our drinks.
We do. Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Oh my gosh, that is phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
That just makes any worries go away.
Life is good.
Yes, life is very good.
After a week of, hanging out at the pool and mommy getting some mommy social time, we moved over to the Pilot Knob BLM area where we had some other friends and we made some new friends as well. Back in February, as we were actually living this, we were really thinking about community, and I had this idea of a YouTube episode I wanted to do all around finding community on the road and how important it was. So I enlisted Kyle and Michelle and some of our new friends from the Pilot Knob area to help with that video. We did have a nice little chat around the campfire one night. Thought they had a lot of great tips about community, how important it is, what it is, and how to find it on the road.
You're talking to Ford. I've had more nasty ground with you.
Hello.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Aiden. You want to sit with me, buddy?
You want to sit with Uncle Kyle?
Community is?
Community is.
Community is
So what is community?
Community is caring.
Community is taking care of each other.
Community is those helping each other out.
Community is support when you're together and even when you're not camping together.
Community is friendship.
Community is handing your baby off to someone else who wants to hold him.
Community is very, very important.
community is my road family. I've met the nicest people, and you know your neighbors from the get-go. And whether you need to borrow an egg or you have a breakdown and you need someone to take you somewhere, there's more people offering to help than you need. The closest sense of community and neighbors and family. Everybody's out of the rat race and more relaxed, and it's more about experiences than stuff, and it's just a wonderful place and way to connect with with other people.
I think honestly, being on the road now, I'm more community centered than I was at my home base because I didn't leave my home base. Here we travel, we meet new people constantly. So that's one of the benefits I think of being on the road. It's, even though you don't necessarily see them again soon, you feel like you'll see them again sooner than later. One of the benefits is that we're all doing the same thing, and maybe not necessarily for the same reasons, but we're all doing the same thing, so we have that commonality, you know. And as you said, we're not coming home from work and shutting ourselves in. We're out in the environment and in the area and visiting kind of like we are now.
When we went on the road, we immediately joined up with a group of full-timers. Kyle and Michelle were part of that group even then, but we learned more in the first 2 weeks on the road with full-timers than we did in, I don't know, umpteen years of previous camping.
But I mean, there's a huge difference from when we left Colorado Springs in May and didn't know anybody, and we were just camping off by ourselves, and then, which was fun in and of itself, but then meeting people at the bash and really getting to connect and travel together has like taken it to another level of fun.
That's true, because for 5 months last year, it was just us.
Yeah.
We had one place when we were in Crested Butte, Colorado. We had this really fun camp area where a bunch of people would come out and hang out and do stuff. That was our only sense of community in 5 months last year. Everything else was just us.
Yeah.
And we got to see a lot of cool things, but we knew this year heading into full time, like we needed to find somebody. So we're obviously very hopeful for the bash, but I will say the bash actually exceeded my expectations.
I mean, those kids are going to grow up. What memories those kids are going to have.
And then the quality of the friendships too. Like Chris said, even though you separate for a period of time at different points, you come together again in another state or what have you, and stay in contact with these people. It's just not a
one-time thing. It's you keep connecting with each other along the way, which is nice.
And you look for those opportunities, right?
Right.
It's not the goodbye, it's see you down the road.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Since this is our first stop on our road trip, it was intentional that we met up with Kyle and Michelle first to kind of get our feet wet, and then I knew having a community of experienced people around, knowing them through YouTube and then meeting all of you guys, that would help my nerves into figuring out the problems that would come up and how to deal with those. And he's been invaluable to those issues, especially the first week, so it was nice.
Yeah, you had a rough first week.
That first week was
some flooding and some sewer pipe issues.
Oh, that first week was tough. One of the pieces of advice that I could give, I think the biggest one, is find YouTube channels and of interest to you and join their communities, as in comment on their videos, and if they have Instagrams or other social media, kind of be part of that and make yourself almost like, hey, I'm here and I have this idea, I have that idea, I love your idea. And from there you can grow with their community and then create your own as well.
It's really interesting that YouTube has turned into so many friendships for us on the road that, you know, I remember sitting at home for 5 years just watching all these channels after channel after channel. Never did I think that like I'd ever meet them or hang out with them or anything like that. And it's really, I mean, it's changed the way we travel. Michelle will be the first to admit that whenever I tell her we're meeting somebody off the internet, she's like, she's not a super fan of it. But then she's like, I don't know why I get so worried about this.
I say this, the people that are on the internet are the same people that are standing behind you at the checkout line in Walmart. I mean, they don't come from a different planet. And as Kyle was saying, you feel like you kind of get a little bit of a connection before physically meeting them, so maybe that helps with the comfort level.
Yeah.
Remember when we went for the hike with Kyle and Michelle and we thought we would finally be the ones that kept them on trail? Teaser. That didn't happen.
All right, we are getting ready for our hike. We've got Kyle and Michelle. We've been hanging out with them for a while. We got Lauren back there with Aiden. And we are getting ready to do, what was the hike?
Pilot Knob Mesa.
534 feet of elevation gain. And we're ready to get going. This is the behind the scenes look at a Wandering Shores hike. Not the trail. All right, Kyle is off trail. We're not really sure where the trail is. It's just kind of, I don't know, boulders and rocks. We've only gotten lost about 15 times on this trail, but we are just about to the top and we can see the Mexico-US border right back behind us. I've never actually seen the physical wall that separates the two countries. Kyle, sorry we disappointed you not making one hike without getting off trail.
It's all good. We're used to getting lost, and if we stay on trail at some point, it'll be something new to us.